Welcome to Fin Business. I am Manoj Agrawal, your host for today. Today I have with me Mr. Suresh Shan. He heads the innovation and business activities related to innovation at Mahindra Finance. At Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, I'm sure you're doing a lot of innovative things. But you being in your company being in the rural economy largely, it's different from what you see at a typical Citibank or a XYZ organization. How is innovation for your organization set up? What is it that you're looking at that meets the needs of the rural customers of rural India?
We found three major areas as an issue which change as an opportunity for us to survive and try to build horizons on that. That horizon starts with saying rural operations when it comes to technology, keeping reach and speed as a business expectations. It has to adhere to connectivity and electricity and the resource availability in the last mile. So when you try to attack these three areas, when you say connectivity can be achieved through online, offline, and bring out a value system so that the service of IT can go more one step ahead to the customer doorstep and try to deliver those things. When it comes to electricity, today's environment, we do have mostly the alternate energy powers which can withstand and do the solutions which is in rural India. Third is what like resource availability. That's what we worked upon a lot more on that to find out can we start building those resources so that it enables us and empowers us to stick to that particular location geography, try to do that. So we have 4 million customers as of today where they didn't have bank accounts, they can't speak English, but they do want to do finance. Now currently we are focusing more to make an earn to pay model, which is nothing but will make that particular rural customer to earn so that he pay first.
He can pay back. Okay.
So keeping that business agenda, digital whatever best we can do in rural India, we are trying to eliminate. And if you say whatever problems we faced earlier, we try to create as an opportunity using the available technologies. Like we classified three types of information. One is what keeping all information whichever is from the rural captured in a centrally stored distributed data capture. That means like you put 1 rupee across the country, it comes and stores in head office so that it is available for other informations which is for the regulators and the other areas. And if you see from the capturing angle, we have introduced as much as POS machines and the available mobile solutions which works mostly on offline solutions. And the authentication which we have introduced specific to India which caters to more on behavioral pattern based innovations on that.
So that's an interesting overall change in strategy. How has innovation empowered it?
So we started getting into all the colleges, schools, wherever we can participate through CSI, Computer Society of India, and started building those incubation centers. If already there, bring out those ideas, which is required for a normal Indian, where he requires from a finance industry. It could be education, medical, healthcare, or even it can be a sharing of information, which will help us to enable a finance business over there.
Okay.
So got those ideas. For example, we got some of the startup business like how we can engage a customer during his good times. So that's a message can go to them either in an IVR model or in a well understood by the last customer, end customer. Then like we introduced some of the areas which if you say bad times generally comes based of the natural calamities, circumstances or the business losses, whatever it is. So we try to educate them and empower them to build the trust.
Okay.
So that innovation part we took it and we started gathering that information of the end customer and trying to connect it. So initially it was more of a data which just keeps coming in and trying to manipulate. Over a period of time it starts giving an artificial intelligence about the customer and the society or even the community belongs to that particular geography and how they are able to do it.
So this analytics, did you build it in-house or was it available from the market?
It started with the market, whatever it's available to take it out, but a lot more come with an in-house combination also. But I would give the credit to the available NGOs and people who are doing the common welfare. Those people have more data than an official Google or other patterns. But so over a period of time, those things also going to get matured on that. So that reach, speed and connectivity has enabled us using the innovation models to do that. And majority of the ideas I can directly put to the students which comes out, like how they respect which yields the message for them, how to even communicate like generally when they are in need, how the demand is arise, what type of circumstances that can be used out, even morning how we can take the behavioral patterns, in the noon, afternoon how to take it up. So now that much justification we learned through students. and we learn through the local people who can do it. Like for example, we found one of the requirements from Baramati when we are talking to the local government and people, they said they are trying to build a data center which is part of the rural, where when we are trying to locate it, we will get the Aadhaar data of that full Andhra Pradesh government, which is going to be hosted in that site, and they are going to create outlets which will create more information. What is the demand from farmers, transporters, and those people earn to pay model. Local kirana shop, he wants to build slightly, but he expects some digital. So those things were one of the offerings available there.
Are you looking at, there is obviously the traditional fintechs, of which there are hundreds and thousands these days. My question is, do they meet your needs? To what extent do these fintechs align with your business objectives? If not, are you looking at other tech startups that can add value to what Mahindra Finance is doing? And if not, there is a third category source that you look for innovation, not just ideas. Ideas come from students and community, but actual solutions. Fintechs, other startups, any other categories. Can you share some insights on this?
So we identified there are some 1, 2, 3 categories of startups which is coming in, where some of the startups for a category, they already have a product and it is well proven and demonstrated. They would want to take it to the rural crowd or metro crowds, which we are trying to adopt through the available IBMs of the world, or whichever the brands which now currently doing, we are trying to take it up through them, and who emphasize more on innovation. The second category is what they have some idea, like students, whatever it is, but which is very relevant to me, which is not reached the right person. So we are trying to utilize that particular team, take that logic idea, talk to the startups, whomsoever is willing to take that idea, which we can take it up. And another third category is what people do have ideas, people do have some startups, but they lack in funds. They are not good enough to see the right SLAs, or they are not full-fledged a startup.
Okay.
So then we try to guide them using our innovation future technologies, and we'll tell them to deliver in this kind of market. This is what required. This is the minimum SLAs to be made. This is a minimum discipline in terms of how much funds to be there so that you can perform and you can take it up. So those we are trying to improvise. Again, every month we do have a minimum 5 such kind of people empowered, and yearly we are targeting 60 people. Out of that, at least last 2-3 years we made about 35 people, which is a substantial startups which we are trying to use them in the rural India. And if you see from innovation point of view, I will say rural India, since we are more of an upcoming country and majority of the things are now moving in the stage of government emphasizing more on digital, it enables us, this is a right time where we can bring in a startup where government is also honoring it, regulators also honoring it, plus finance industry also getting more mature to do it.
So apart from digital innovations and digital technologies, are you also doing any for trying out areas in agri-tech or biotech or logistics? These are some of the things that are much more rural economy focused.
Since the innovative part, whatever it's happening across world, is mostly on the other science, robotics and other areas which is coming, which is partly with the technology, but surely it's going to empower duplication, automation through such circumstances, which we are trying to again connect back to bring out the cultural value system, which was very hygienic in India. So we have connected back to use that herbal and whatever medical with our past culture like value system, connecting back to the digital, since that again rural runs more on emotions, trying to capture and trying to make part of the system where it will connect them and provide them one good vision and communicate the finance information to him. So in all our receipts we started even giving that information which is very relevant to them, which is connected to his health, which could be his blood pressure, which he can monitor through, use it out on that, or a bio which generally gives more to say like how much he can do it or how much decisions he can take and do for a day-to-day life. If you see farmers and transporters, they believe a lot more in their health because they do a lot and they're dedicating more on the time. So we have brought in as much as innovations which is part of their health, which gives a very big finance system. In our case, like again we have Mahindra Insurance Broking Limited, again we have Mahindra other component which is for life, non-life, where we are trying to connect those data there so that they can fund those sensors, they can fund such information. It is again benefiting back to them.
One thing about rural India is, of course, that's where the tradition of India lies, in our villages. And you talked about people in their 50s, the older people, let's say people in their 50s. But India is a young country. We have a huge population that is youngsters. So what is your observation about the needs and the cultural trends, the business needs and the cultural trends of the people in their 20s? What have you identified there, and how are you serving them? Is that different from how you serve the elders?
I would still say, like, okay, forget about age, even gender difference.
Yes.
Like a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman has their own different needs on that, or even a widow of a 50-year-old woman has her own requirements
Absolutely.
and financial needs
Absolutely.
on that. So it's specific to customers. I can proudly say Mahindra Finance has 4 million customers. We have 4 million schemes. I'm proud to say, like, that much schemes are there, that much individual it is taken care, and we have brought in that's the strength of our system, and that's why we continuously proudly say, like, saying like we are able to tailor made the schemes which suits that individual to fit in on that. Surely youngsters do have their own requirements to coming it out. Same way the elder people do have their way path how to set it out. But beyond technology here, we have to see that I started saying we have something called earn to pay model. So earning for a 20-year-old will have a differentiation, even a 30-year-old have a differentiation. Again, genders do matter a lot to bring it out. So finance system, generally we see their potential individually and what is their capacity and what they are trying to achieve it out. And that's where we are strong, and we can proudly say our digital has enabled us to strongly play on that. It's a long way to go, but still over a period of time we can tell, and in Indian context 2.5 lakh villages today we have spread. Over a period of time, like all the districts we are available today, we will come out with a data bank which will have very good artificial intelligence sitting in central place. We can say like these are the needs required to an individual, which will be part of that default so that they can utilize that solutions and take it up and all that.
Just to get a sense of your customers, typically what age groups are they in? 40s, 50s, 60s, 20s?
See, like we can see, like we have 4 million customers. If I want to divide classification onto that, so major potential will be an youngster of 35 to 45.
Okay.
So majority crowd will be on that, because that's the age generally in rural. Generally they take more ethics in terms of how to bring out their value system. Even the family comes out more. Otherwise, like if you say majority customers, if you say they start their career by 18 or 20. Okay, but they realize a loan or a finance can add more, generally comes during 30, because he is going through all whatever assets he has, he tries as good and bad, whatever it's the times going up, and surely they come up. And the people's survival is more from 35 to 45, where it improvises him to the other areas what he can do, and he can take risk. The risk factor generally comes from 35 to 45. We can take 48 till they build whatever it is on that. But we can see a successful customer, and we have seen majority of the people who can do things in a great way starts from 35 to 45, which comes out all.
Great, thank you. That was really good insight.
Nice talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thanks.
Suresh.